can't wait for this, dude. I cannot wait for that. You want to announce it right now?
Yeah. So we're gonna go. So first team, second string. We are going to be doing a movie review of every single Fast and the Furious. I'm so excited.
Dude,
we're gonna do a review.
Pumped.
We're gonna have people come on. We're gonna have fun segments. It's gonna be great. One of them is a live table, like a live read. So during our favorite, we're gonna come up with our favorite scenes. I already started Fast and the Furious 1. A fun fact. This is like just off top. There was about 30 finger points in 12 minutes. That's just the kind of stuff you get here. There was 30 finger points in 12 minutes.
You almost had me. You never had your car.
Yeah, that's one of the. That's a classic. That's an all-time movie scene. I love Fast and the Furious so much. It was so much fun watching. And it's just going to be dedicated. It's going to be a show dedicated to the Fast and the Furious. It's going to be a movie review. And we're going down till the release of Fast 9, which we will review as well, especially since it's not going to be in the movies, which is awesome. I'm going to be able to pause and formulate my thoughts and opinions.
And get up and be like, what the fuck just happened?
I can't wait. It's
Dude, you know how excited I am? Like that first week of elementary school where you figure out you and your best friend have the same class?
Yes.
And then your teacher doesn't realize you're best friends and they put you at the same table?
Yes.
That's how fucking excited I am about this. That excited.
There's like throughout the whole theme of this is like, let's not forget, we started in Echo Park. We're now in space. I mean, that's a tagline. We started in Echo Park.
No one's able to say that.
No one's able to say that. No one's able to say that. There's so many things we're going to come up with. We have a bunch of things planned. We're going to keep like workshopping and have a bunch of segments. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then we're going to like get like people to come on. We already have Frank's going to come on one. Anastasia is going to come on for the Fast and the Furious 1 because she watched it with me already. And she was the one she noticed the pointing and she wanted to start counting the points. Nice. And she, there's a number at a certain point, like it's 2 points for every minute. It's insane. It averages out to 2 points every minute.
You know how many Coronas I'm going to drink while we record these?
Yeah, no, we're exclusively drinking Coronas. I'm going to buy a wife beater. I'm going to wear a wife beater. I need a garage shirt. It's going to be awesome. And I'm just so excited. It's going to be magic. I love Fast and the Furious so much, dude.
It's the best, dude. It's the best.
It's the best. It really is. All right, let's do this. Okay, the European Soccer League, it lasted 5 days. Thoughts and prayers. That was my favorite part about this whole thing is that they announced it. Literally, like they announced it on Sunday, and then we talked about it a little bit, and then in that 24-hour period, you had Chelsea fans protest, which Britain is, I think, at like 25% capacity, and so for British people to be like, fuck that, we're breaking these laws. I think that was kind of actually, I don't even know. I feel like for whatever reason, I feel like British people don't break as many laws as like American people, but that could just be their accent fooling me. They could be conning me and just robbing banks Jason Statham style.
I was going to say, have you seen Green Street Hooligans? I'm sure they break a fuckload of laws.
Oh,
if they're
yeah,
motivated.
that's true. Those, what are they called? Footy fans?
Firms.
Firms. That's right. They're called firms. They're hooligans. So Chelsea fans took a stand. Who else took it? I mean, everybody really took a stand.
Liverpool and Arsenal fans, I think, were out in full force also.
That's right.
But like to give that context, Liverpool and Arsenal are both owned by American owners. So fans have hated those teams owners already. Mm-hmm. So this just like gave more like fuel to the fire. And like especially John Henry, who owns Liverpool. Yeah. A lot of Boston fans were like, "Oh, so you traded Mookie Betts and then you fucked over like your soccer team on across the pond? Like you're 0 for 2, homie. Like this is bad." I wonder
if Boston Red Sox fans were like, "Where the fuck is our video, motherfucker?" So let's do this then. Arsenal fans, Stan Kroenke. Liverpool is John Henry and the Fenway Group. Mm-hmm. We have the John Glazer families, Manchester United.
Yep.
And then the other two remaining teams that were a part of the ESL, the European Soccer League, were Manchester United, which is owned by a prince in Abu Dhabi or Saudi Arabia. I forget that
City.
one.
City.
Yeah, Manchester City. Excuse me. And then the last team,
Chelsea's Russian.
Chelsea's Russian. Oh, and then Tottenham got invited, and that's run. That happens to be run by an American, but it's owned by who? It's owned by. Isn't it owned by a group, like a British group?
Yeah, it's like a conglomerate.
But
not to interrupt you, but this is a text I sent my uncle and my dad, who are also big, kind of soccer fans. Like, they'll watch the big teams, big games, and they were for all this, the Super League, and I was like,
really?
Yeah, because they don't know all, like, the small West
history.
Ham, and yeah, exactly. And so I was like, hey, this is kind of a big deal over there, and me and you both follow it pretty well. And I was like, this is going to discriminate a lot of people, and like, it just money plays all the way through. And as we said last Sunday, right as it came out. But I'm just going to read a text I sent them, because I did look into this a bit more, and this is what I sent them, like 6:30 in the morning on Tuesday, by the way. So I was a little into it. I was like, hey, I looked into it a bit more. Madrid and Barca are both in massive debt, both around $1 billion. Barca owes, I want to say, like 1.4, and then Madrid is like maybe 900. And then those are both euros, like billion. 900 million, 1.4 billion.
Yeah.
That's their motivation for this. The English teams are all led by foreigners except for Spurs, which, found out wasn't true. And they want an NFL type system where they don't have to field a competitive team every year. As for AC Milan and Inter, they're terrible. They haven't done anything in Europe in 2 decades. So they want to cut the line to ensure that they're always in a top, playoff system.
Position.
Exactly. And then what else did I say? And Juve is the one who put this all together, which is true. That guy who runs Juventus is the guy who does all that.
I thought it was Florentino.
He was like the sidekick, but he's more prominently known. But the Juventus guy was the one that came to him.
The Dick Cheney.
Exactly. Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
He does the black market work type stuff.
That's a heater of a meme, though. The Inter Milan guy is Dick Cheney speaking to Bush.
Yeah.
At the
and so,
in the ear.
Right. And so like last Sunday we mentioned that they're all in it for money. Dude, that's just kind of the basis of all of it. But then I was like, well, PSG was asked to join, which we saw later, but wouldn't, because they're essentially owned by Qatar, and PSG. Yes. And Qatar doesn't want to lose the World Cup taking place next in 2022 of November. So they didn't want to lose that. So that way, and then the German clubs are owned by fans, essentially. In Germany, there's a 50+1 rule, where it is law that 51% of the team is owned by the fans. So that's just a law that they have in Germany, which is genius. I think we need to use that. If we could, I would love that to happen here in the
US.
One
of the few German laws that worked out.
Very yes, very, very true.
One of the few ones that actually
honestly,
made sense.
That's a good fact right there. And good. Honestly, maybe that's probably why we can have one guy being too powerful.
Yeah, they saw that and they went, we got to change this.
No, we've done this before.
There was one guy, guy that came back from Adidas, and he was like, guys, I figured it out. I figured out why this all went bad. I have an idea. Follow me.
So like you said, I think it was a Monday or Tuesday where it all just completely fell apart. All the Premier League teams backed out because of the fans and the rioting. Not rioting, but like the
protesting.
The protest. Yeah, well, I don't think it was anything was violent, but
I mean, it was a lot of backlash. I think when you look at, right, like you mentioned, everything comes down to money. Like these these teams that are highly invested. It's just bad PR, and I don't know what, because once again it's like we talked about earlier, like all these clubs, the top 6 clubs are on some level, besides 2 of them, so 4 of the top 6 or 5 of the top 7 clubs, or whatever the number is, on some level are run and owned and operated by Americans who don't want. There at one point, I think it was, I forget which owner. I don't want to say it was Glazer, because he's Man U, so it wouldn't make sense. But there was somebody who went to a game and asked. There was one owner who went to the game and asked who the team was. He asked which his team was that he owned. This is just like it's just so different, and they were so unaware. And when Florentino Perez and Dick Cheney tell you, or whatever the Italian version of Dickie Cheney, whatever the Italian version of Dick Cheney is, tells you, hey, we're gonna split $4 billion and figure it the fuck out. Yeah. They're like, for sure, whatever. Oh, and it's something I can understand, like, for sure, whatever. Like, I don't blame the uproar. Like, obviously, I don't blame the Brits, because like these teams, like you were saying, the history, like these teams have 100 years. Some of these clubs have 100 years of history, and you have
what's the late night guy, James Corden? He had a really good video about that exactly, where pretty much to paraphrase him, he was saying that some of these clubs are more than 100 years old, and they were built by dock workers and people that worked in factories and stuff. And so there's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in these. They're not franchises like here in America, where it was all like kind of based off money. It is for the community. And I mean, it's true. And if you look at all the names of the teams, we go by the city, right?
Yeah.
It's, and then he was saying that because he's British, he was saying that a lot of these teams are starting to build, with these new owners coming in that are all foreign born
major stadiums.
They're all building major stadiums away from the communities in which they built themselves on. Like Tottenham came out with a new stadium a couple of years ago, and they're not even close to like the neighborhood they used to be. So that's just one example of like that actually happening. So I go to listen to his video. I think it's like 2 minutes long, maybe actually it's probably 6 minutes long, but it's everything is worth it. It's so good.
I did see, I mean, not for nothing, you get your own beer at the new stadium. I think it's called White Hart Lane.
Yeah. The old one.
The old one's called White Hart Lane.
Yeah.
What's the new one called? Tottenham
I have
Stadium?
No clue. No, honestly, I have no clue.
I'd
have to look it up, but
it serves you your own beer.
I hear it's really nice.
It's really nice,
but it doesn't have any history.
That's the thing, though. It's like we did, like these stadiums, or initially it was all centered around this city, and it was a community outreach, and it just so happened that the game got bigger. And there's a reason why the EPL is the biggest, or it's the most, in my opinion, the best sports league in all the sports leagues. Is like, you look at a perfect example is look at this year. Like West Ham is good. There's so much relegation. Relegation is the best part to me about watching a team.
I mean, if you watch Ted Lasso, they do it perfectly.
Yeah.
I mean, they summarize.
Do you want to just summarize it?
Yeah, so relegation is essentially, there's 20 teams in the Premier League. The three worst teams get relegated to the subdivision, the championship, and then the top three teams of the championship get moved up to the Premier League. There's 11 flights of English football. So you could move all the way down. I know, there's 11.
There's 11? I thought there was only three. The Coca-Cola one, Coca-Cola
they might be
two.
Sponsored.
By the way, I thought you were going to sum it up like they did on Ted Lasso, but yeah, keep going.
Oh, no. Yeah. So I was getting to that point. And so what happened in the series is that Ted Lasso's team, spoiler alert, cut ahead like 50 seconds if you don't want to hear this. Ted Lasso's team gets moved down the last game of the season to the championship. And so it's heartbreaking. Everyone is like, fuck, man, this sucks. You got to spend the next year trying to get back up to where you were. And that's not even guaranteed. And so, yeah, I mean, for instance, this just this week, Schalke in Germany got relegated from the Bundesliga, which, I mean, I don't know if anyone's seen that video. I think you posted it.
Yes, dangerous.
Where the fans were chasing the players off the bus when they got back to their grounds.
They were running for their lives.
Yes. I don't know if that video's been proven like factual, or like it's a legit video, but
that's the internet.
But like, for the fact that we think it's real for like the split second, is like, that's insane,
And by the way, relegation is so significant because everything trickles down like monetarily from the TV deals. So if you're able, so if you're in the EPL, you get a bulk of that, and it trickles down percentage wise. So it really affects your bottom line if you're a team like Bournemouth or Bournemouth. How do you say it? Bournemouth. Bournemouth. If you're a team like them and you get relegated, and then all of a sudden you get less money and you can't afford these players, and you don't know if you're going to be a club, and then the owner has to sell to another owner who's like, I'm trying to will this to the Premier League, and and that has happened, and it can be a lot for. Like a team will go under if it's like huge. A team will go on. It can go under if they get relegated. It's fucking a huge deal. And another part of why the Premiership is so sick is like Arsenal play. Let's say Arsenal plays a small club, and you go and away fans travel to that small club, and then all of a sudden you're watching a game in a completely different way. You can touch the players, you can be around the players. You're seeing the players like you've never seen them play before. It's an incredible thing. Like, I don't know.
To compare it to American sports, like imagine watching the Lakers in like a high school basketball arena. Imagine watching LeBron in high school, and he's playing like a legit NBA game.
Yeah.
Like that would be insane.
And then the FA Cup. Yeah. The history of the FA Cup, it's like besides the World Cup, right? Besides the World Cup, besides the Champions League, it is my favorite tournament. It's so sick. Just like you enter, anybody can enter. You just need to get a team together and enter. And then what you do, and you're talking about like fucking doctors, lawyers, dock workers. Let's say they're a fucking high school class of 2007 and they can all kind of play soccer and they get together, start a team. I mean, they get bounced out pretty quickly.
I was gonna say, as long as they're a professional team, like they can, yeah.
But, they can.
But you mentioned it, Leicester City, the Foxes are playing Chelsea May 15th. If you're in San Diego, go to Bluefoot, 9:30 a.m. I'll be there with the boys.
Boom.
But it's huge, man. And like you said, that TV deal, I want to say, last I heard, maybe just like 4 or 5 years ago, each team got like $80 million a year in TV money if you're part of the Premier League. So that's huge money. Huge money.
Especially in the Premiership, where parity is what, 4, 5 on down, 6 on down.
Yeah.
Like you have an opportunity there to play in Europa. And
it's the most watched league in the world. Like you said, Bournemouth. Someone's going to know who Bournemouth now is in Malaysia or, Yugoslavia or Argentina or wherever. Like people watch this all over the place.
It's the best. I also want to say this. I was thinking about this. If I was Seferin, if I was the UEFA president, I would. This is my original thought. I would have suspended the teams remaining to just like really put the kibosh on it. I would have suspended the teams remaining, which is Barcelona and Real Madrid, for 3 years. But then I heard what he wanted to do, which is suspend them for a year, which makes way more sense, because if you suspend them for 3 years, then you're just doing too much, and then you're exerting too much power, I think is the phrase. Yeah, you're exerting too much power and you risk angering those clubs. But a 1 year suspension, you can't do it this year. You can't, because there's all the other 3 remaining teams are not a part of, they all took out. Like Man City's out, Chelsea's out, and then PSG was never in it. So then you can't just have Chelsea go to the finals. But next year, regardless of how Real Madrid does and whatever, Barcelona, you don't allow them to play. I think that's I would do that. I think that's the proper move.
I don't think you can do that because you can't penalize the players and the fans that didn't want it. It's just the owner.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
I just thought you could just,
because the fans obviously didn't want it. The players, I don't know if I've heard a player that has been pro Super League.
There's
And so I wouldn't punish them for something maybe one guy did.
Yeah, Florentino Perez made some bold claims.
Yeah, I would say like in American sports, you can suspend a GM or an owner or fine them a specific amount of money. I would maybe look into seeing how much power you could to do that, saying, hey, like you can't attend any games or whatever. Like you can't show up in your stadium or blah, blah, blah. And if we do, like, then we're going to, fine you millions of dollars more or something like that. I don't know it well enough to know what kind of rules they have in place to do that, but I would be interested in seeing something like that.
But this for me. So I'm a Real Madrid, and that's my original team, right? And then I've grown, and then Tottenham is the team in the EPL because they took a chance on a Honduran, and and it sucks. Like, this sucks for your club to be the evil villain of the soccer world. It just sucks. Nobody really likes us anyways, which is fine.
I was gonna say Real's already kind of disliked around the world. Well, not around the world, but in Spain at least.
I mean, a horrible brand of like buying all the players, even though, you know, it's every other fucking rich club does that. That's fine. I get it. But it just stinks, like, to be a part of the evil empire twice. Like, it just sucks. It just sucks to just know that, like, the guy that runs your club essentially wanted to, like, eliminate the fairness of the sport. Yeah. It just stinks. You just watch and you're like, and he has so much power. Florentino Perez has so much power. And his arguments, I mentioned that he made some bold claims. His arguments, one of them was that the kids aren't watching. We need to make all
bullshit. That made sense.
It was all filibuster. It was like, the kids aren't watching. We need to figure out how to reach these audiences. And then what was the other one was just like, nobody makes any money.
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, listen, I don't know how the taxes work. I don't know how they don't make any money. I don't know.
They're in debt, like,
because I mean, everyone's in debt from the pandemic. Every sport with the NBA is. I mean, I know you're about. Well, you're gonna say what you're gonna say, but let me just say this: the NBA is bringing back the Seattle SuperSonics and another franchise because of the pandemic. Like, I don't know how everyone. Every once in a while, I'll see the ticker on the bottom, or I'll read something. It's like somebody didn't pay their taxes again. It's like someone's evading taxes. So part of me thinks this is a tax thing. I have no idea why they don't make money. It doesn't make sense to me. They're a top 3 valued club internationally in the world. Then Barcelona, like those are the two. Like those are the besides Man U. Those are the 2 and 3 clubs in terms of valuation.
If I had to guess, it's because they don't want to ruin their bottom line, so they're just going to go in debt more, or maintain that debt without paying anything off, to where the interest just keeps fucking them over, and so they don't want to look bad to their shareholders. Yeah, they don't want to have like a decrease in revenue.
It's just weird to say we don't make any money, and then to say, you know, Manchester United, Man City, these clubs don't make any money, where it's like, people are like, what are you talking about? Like, you get the best deals, you get the most sponsorships, you get the most money. It doesn't make any sense.
You know who looks like a genius in all of this, though?
Who?
It's Jerry Jones. I mean, he's the number 1 most valued team in the world, any professional sports team. He introduced the cap to limit his spending, so he didn't have to be one of these, you know, Spanish soccer giants. And, you know, he hasn't won shit since 96, and he's worth
number 1.
Yeah, he's worth like the team's worth $5 billion.
They're number 1.
Yeah.
It's the Cowboys.
They have $1 billion practice facility.
And they go 8-8
every year.
Every year. Do you see him talking about Kyle Pitts, or talking to Kyle Pitts or some shit?
He does that shit. I can't stand him. I cannot stand him. I love the Cowboys, but I can't stand that motherfucker.
All right. So speaking of football, I want to say this. Philly has found their king. Philly has found their king. Okay. This is so Nick Siciliano, who's the new Philadelphia head coach, has been having draft prospects in Zoom meetings play rock, paper, scissors to gauge competitiveness.
I deliberately didn't click on this story because I was going to be like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Listen, that's a Philly move. That's a Philly guy. This is the most Philadelphia head coach. This is like what
after that great interview for the first press conference.
It's such a funny concept to say, like, you know what we're going to do? We're going to have these kids, we're going to have them play rock, paper, scissors over Zoom, and we're going to gauge and figure out their intent. This is the same shit. This is the Moneyball scene, which is like, that dude has no confidence. How do you know? His girlfriend's not pretty. Yeah. It's the same shit, and it doesn't make any sense. And of course, the city of Philadelphia, the fucking trash hole city of Philadelphia that I love. I adore them. I adore everything that comes out of that city. Wawas, Sheets, the Philly trash. I love it all. It's hilarious.
The cream cheese.
Especially the cream cheese.
Big fan.
I just have it. Just I don't even know how I don't even know why you even do this. Why you even approach the idea of it's rock paper scissors lasts 3 seconds. What can you learn in 3 seconds? It's an unbelievable.
Best out of 50. I don't know.
What do you do? And
what
then
do you do?
I will say they also played a Jeopardy style game. Even then,
I think the problem for me is not the fact that they do it; it's the fact that he was bragging about it, thinking it was the genius idea. It's like, cool, you do some weird shit. Like we've all heard draft stories of guys that used to play in the 80s or 90s, and they go back now they're Hall of Famers. But you go back to their draft stories, like this team did this. It was really strange. That's fine. Like you hear about that shit all the time. Going back to that Miami Dolphins, I forget the Des Bryant situation. Called his mom a prostitute. Weird stuff, man. Like just weird stuff. But to go out to the media and brag about it and be like, this is the next level type shit that no one else is doing.
Yeah. Hey, dude, this is the stuff that no one does. No stone is left unturned over here in Philadelphia, dude. Yeah. Let me just say this. This is why if you could condense overthinking into a moment and explain like, hey, why do you think football player or like scouts and general managers and organizations draft poorly? It's because of shit like this. It's like, let's have them play rock, paper, scissors, engage their – how do you not – like, what are you talking about? You can't gauge their you can't gauge their competitive spirit like in conversation or on the field play. Like like this excuse over Zoom that it makes it more difficult is nonsense. Like, there is a football guys like to – like – Julian Edelman says like it's such a fucking crazy thing to say, which is like he said have a guy, he said on PMT, I don't know why scouts don't just have me come on and look these receivers and look them in the eye. I can tell if I just look them in the eye. It's like
I think he's got a point there. I think you're
which is fair, right? Which is fair. Like, you got to know a guy. You got to look in their eyes in the huddle. He makes points. He makes points.
But also,
at the same time, though, like, what do you need to size? Like, what do you need to size up about? 6'4", 250, 260. You see what he does in the trenches. Like, if you're doing receivers, even then, like these motherfuckers drafted Jalen Reagor. Justin Jefferson was the next pick.
To be the devil's advocate part of this conversation, what happened with the Titans' first round pick last year, Isaiah Wilson, right? That lineman that just quit because they were just like, he don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
I mean, that kind of makes sense, but that's one out of a billion or whatever, one out of however 1,000. But it was just weird for the Eagles guy the coach to brag about that. It was kind of strange.
All-time press really conference.
Funny. I think they're going downhill so fast with him, and it's going to be great.
What we're going to do is we're going to win. The way we're going to win is we're going to win games. We score more points, we win games. And that's how we're going to win games, and that's what matters in football is winning games. I mean, it's just so nuts to me. It's such a nonsensical thing. Like there is something to looking people in the eye. You're right. And Julian Edelman is right. But the rock, paper, scissors thing is overthinking on a ridiculous level.
You know what that interview sounds like? Sounds like Frank Caliendo pretending to be an NFL coach and giving that answer for laughs.
Yeah.
And then but the guy said it seriously.
I'm all in on Siciliano press conferences the week. I would, if I was a beat reporter for the Philadelphia Eagles, just me personally, not even from Philly, I would be like, this is the best job. I'm going to deal with this fucking idiot every single day. This is amazing. I'm just going to deal with
As a Cowboys fan, I'm very excited for his tenure.
Yeah, it's not, I mean, we'll see. It's like, I don't even know. I mean, I don't even mind the trading back, but he doesn't run. I mean, he doesn't run it. He's the fall guy. He's the yes man. So whatever big organizational decisions happen are going to happen through Howie Roseman and the owner. And, that's how it's going to be. But Dodgers Padres.
Big series actually started just now. We're in the bottom of the second so far. First game of 4. Last weekend's series, which we touched up on, Dodgers took two out of the 3. Where Sunday the Padres squeaked out one. And the 8th inning there, Tommy Pham hit a double down the left field line to secure the victory. But this one's going to be interesting, man, because now we're going to see, more of the Padres pitching. They're going to have Musgrove go on Sunday, who threw the no-hitter a couple weeks ago, which we also talked about. So the Dodgers will, we're going to see what kind of team the Padres are, especially away from home. This series being in Los Angeles. Pretty much the same matchups. We have Weathers, Buehler tonight going on right now. You have Darvish, Kershaw tomorrow. Then you have Bauer, Snell Saturday, and then Musgrove, Dustin May on Sunday. May is always kind of pitched really well against the Padres, but he's a young guy, so we'll see how it goes. He's at home. Hopefully that helps. He had a pretty good start earlier this week against the Mariners up in Seattle.
May's got classic baseball pitcher hair.
Oh, yeah. Weird guy, too. And he's like 6'6". He's ginormous. Means like it's just 10 pole, essentially, that guy. But, yeah, it's going to be an interesting series. It's the difference is, of course, is that, it's in L.A. and it's not in San Diego. San Diego didn't have a good week. I think they got swept by the Brewers. I think they got swept by the Brewers this week. So so they just went on a 1-5 homestand, and now they're going up to LA to see how that goes. So we'll see. It's going to be really interesting. Again, like we said on Sunday and last Thursday, this is 2 of Vegas' top teams picked odds-wise to win the World Series. So
it's going to be fun baseball.
Everyone's going to be tuning in. And they're on Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN. So that's going to be good. I think Saturdays is also on Fox for their national weekly game. Hopefully, that'll be great to see. It's just good baseball around. They don't like each other. Two most talented teams in baseball. And the Padres are 4 games back, so we'll see if they sweep. They could tie for first. I don't think it's going to happen, but I think maybe they'll split this time around. I think the Padres would come ready a little bit. They did have Dinelson Lamet came back from injury last night, but he came out in the 2nd inning, forearm tightness, which usually means TJ, aka Tommy John, which isn't good because he already had it in 2018. So we'll see. They announced today earlier, probably about a couple hours ago, they announced he's going on the 10-day IL, the injured list. But with the Padres' record of handling injuries is not very good. So we'll see how that goes. Tatis also is still dealing, their star shortstop, Tatis Jr., is also dealing with a very sore shoulder, left shoulder. It popped out of socket a couple weeks ago. I don't know if you saw that. So
I did, yeah.
He does need surgery, but they're trying to prolong it as much as possible, because if he had surgery right now, he'd be out for the season, which they obviously don't want. So
yeah,
it's going to be a really interesting series. I like the Dodgers to win at least 3, probably, based on pitching alone and the way they're swinging the sticks. The Padres look a little lost on offense. But like we said last week, this is, they're playing 19 times this year. They've already gotten 3 down. So they have 16 more games, 12 after this series.
When you say they look a little lost on offense, what do you mean?
They're just not scoring runs. They're not scoring runs. They're not moving counts to hitter counts. They're not drawing walks. They're not hitting home runs. They're not driving in runs when they have guys on 2nd and 3rd. They're not working the count.
Are they just striking out?
Yeah. They just don't have a plan up there. They're pressing. They had a lot, like we mentioned, Vegas has them as the number 2 odds, to win the World Series. And I think they're feeling that pressure now.
That pressure.
For years, they've been the team where it's like they're the underdog. And so they've had that fuck you mentality where they can just kind of play at ease because they're not meant to do anything. Well, now they're meant to actually do something, and they have that pressure to do something, and people look at them as like on par with the Dodgers. And the Dodgers have dealt with that for, 8, 9 years already. They know what it's like to be the top dog. They know what it's like for other teams to keep gun for their guys. And now I think the Padres are kind of starting to, feel that pressure a little bit because things have not gone their way in the first 2-3 weeks of the season. And again, I say that it is April. We have a long season. They can still turn it around, but right now it's not looking great. Like, I mean, obviously, if they sweep the Dodgers this series, you could use that momentum to propel yourself into May, June, July and have a good year. But they got to start hitting because they're not doing it right now. Their pitching has been really good. Their bullpen, their starting rotation was as advertised when they traded for those guys, Snell and Darvish and Musgrove in the offseason. Those are great guys. And they pitched up to the billing with Musgrove throwing a no-hitter, Snell and Darvish pitching really well. But, you got to hit. You can't, I think, was it Snell or not Snell? Maybe Darvish lost 2-0 last Saturday. That's a great game from Darvish. You can't waste that, man. Yeah, he went against Kershaw, but it's not like the Padres haven't seen Kershaw. He's played against him his entire career. So it's not like guys haven't seen him. And so, yeah, we'll see this. It's gonna be a fun series though. If you're a baseball fan, you should be sitting watching all these games or at least following along because, like we said, two best teams of baseball talent wise. So it'll be really, really interesting and really, really fun.
Oh, I'm definitely going to gamble on this whole series, this whole weekend. And I'm just going to lean over depending on what the line is. And then I'm just going to take I'm going to take the Dodgers most of the time. That's going to be my plan. Lean over. I'm just going to lean over. I'm just going to take overs. I'm taking overs.
If you're looking for the best game to watch, it's the Sunday one, I think. We already saw these matchups kind of, like I said, pitching matchups the same Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Thursday, Friday, Saturday. The Sunday one is the best one because the Dodgers haven't seen Musgrove. And he's a San Diego boy. He grew up hating the Dodgers. There's a video of him as the winner of the World Series in 2017 saying, fuck the Dodgers, fuck them, absolutely. On video, him on his phone, like on a live stream, and people have like screenshotted it or like screenshotted it or whatever. At the time we didn't know he was a cheater, but the part, that he was cheating, or part of the cheating team. And so he hates the Dodgers, and I want to see how he uses that hate. And we can actually kind of see how good he is. Yeah, he pitched well against the Pirates, and well, actually he didn't, but the Rangers is what I meant to say. He didn't pitch well against the Pirates, but he's a good pitcher. Some people think he's an ace. I think he's probably a really good two starter. But yeah, I think that's going to be a good way to kind of see like how like I said last Thursday, it's a good way to see how good the Padres actually are. This Sunday is going to be a good barometer to see how good Musgrove really is.
And by the way, man, I changed my mind. I'm going to lean unders just because of all the pitching. You mentioned the pitches, so I'm going to lean under.
It's the two best rotations in baseball.
Yeah, I'm taking unders. I'm not an under guy, but I'm taking unders. All right, let's do UFC. The UFC card is this Saturday. It's the Usman Masvidal 2. It's in Jacksonville, Florida at full capacity, which is hilarious to say. Jacksonville and Florida just do not give a fuck, which is fine. Like, I'm not even, a lot of people are getting back, so I'm not even going to be like the dude. It's like, whatever. I get it. It's fine. I just think
Florida. They ain't getting back from Florida.
Oh, you're right. They're not getting back from Florida. But so it's a 3-title fight with Usman Masvidal. I don't know how to say her first name, but I say Willie Zhang. Thug Rose, Valentina.
Zhang Weili.
Zhang Weili, Valentina Shevchenko, and Jessica Andrade. Like that's your 3-fight title fights, and then you have Uriah Hall, Chris Weidman, and Anthony Smith versus Jimmy Crute in your first 2 fights. So it's a stacked card. I fuck with it pretty heavy. I have a take on. I mean, there's the Uriah Hall, Chris Weidman. I think it's just 2 journeymen. I think what's interesting to me is looking at where their career has gone. Like 3 years ago, these guys were, there was some star equality. You're like, well, I don't know what Uriah Hall's going to be. Chris Weidman, you were hoping he would get back to form because he had just lost, I think, to Luke Rockhold. And so you were trying to figure that whole thing out and what was going to happen. And just the MMA game is such a quick, cruel game.
I think their first fight was in 2011.
Yeah, they're just old dudes.
Yeah.
I love Chris Weidman, too. I used to like
was
Chris
like
Weidman.
Captain America, man. He was like the next coming up. And especially when he knocked out, what's his name, Silva. But like you said, they're journeymen now. Like it's gonna be a fun one just to see because they're kind of both in that same place in their careers. So I think it's gonna be competitive, and to have it like the fourth best fight of the card is like insane.
Yeah,
I think because like that would headline like a fight night like on a random Saturday.
Totally, yeah, totally. I'm also okay. So the odds for Uriah Hall plus 105, Chris Weidman minus 125. I think that's. I mean, in the odds show you that. It's pretty much close to a toss up. I think Weidman's getting more love because he's a wrestler. But I don't know. I just don't know who wins this fight. Do you have a like who do you think's going to win this fight?
That one, honestly, I want to say Weidman just because I want him to succeed.
Yeah.
And every time I watch him fight, he gets his ass kicked or he loses in some heartbreaking fashion.
This is true, yeah.
And I'm like, just win one when I'm watching, dude, please. He's got a dumb fucking tattoo on his back still, probably, of like the Continental U.S. on the back.
Oh yeah, the Wrestling Federation or whatever.
Yeah, I just hope he has that covered up.
It's not. It's going to be there for all to see. I do. So let's do Anthony Smith, Jimmy Crute. So Crute 12-1. I think he's the next guy they're touting up, right? He's what Anthony Smith was 3 years ago. So I think like Jimmy Crute should win. But once again, Anthony Smith is no. He's not just gonna like the MMA game. We just talked about how cruel the MMA game is. Like, you know, it's when No Time. Remember No Time. when somebody I think it was like he was a heavyweight fighter from Poland, and he was just knocking people out for 7 or 8 straight fights. He knocked out Jimmy Manuwa, and then everyone went nuts, and then he fought Daniel Cormier in a title fight, and Daniel Cormier did quick work of No Time. I don't even remember his last name. Just No Time.
Strovic or something like that.
Villa, whatever. And I haven't seen or heard of that guy even sniffing a pay-per-view.
Ran out of time.
Yeah. So yeah. There was no more time. So yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen. You know, Jimmy Crute's a heavy favorite. He's 12-1.
I was way off. It's Volkan
Ozdemir. No Time.
Yeah. But you're right. We haven't seen it. He's been banished to Pride or whoever, you know, One FC out there in Asia. But it's going to be fun, man. It's going to be a great card. Anthony Smith, Crute, I'm not sure. Smith, I think, is taking over for Johnny Walker, who was supposed to fight, who I really would have liked to see. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know how much time they were given, prep time, to see, because Walker backed out because of injury. I like Crute just based off record. And Smith can't really fight guys that try and burglarize his home at night. So I'm gonna go with Crute.
All right, so let's do the title fights. We got Valentina Shevchenko, Jessica Andrade, Technique versus Braun. I'm taking Valentina. That's a no-brainer to me.
Landslide to me.
Okay, we'll do Zhang versus Rose. Okay, so it's a strawweight fight. I don't know who's going to win this fight. Favorites on Zhang. Favorites have been winning a majority of these cards. I feel like Vegas has a really good eye on who the favorite is, and for a reason. Like there was I think it was 2 pay-per-views ago. No, the last pay-per-view. Who was the last pay-per-view?
Honestly, so much has happened since then, I think.
Yeah, you're right. Well, the last pay-per-view, who I can't even remember who the fight was. Oh, Ngannou. The Ngannou.
Man, that was a fucking...
All favorites won. So, favorites are really hot right now. So I don't know what's gonna happen, but I love Thug Rose and I love her footwork. So I'm just gonna take Thug Rose because I like her. I'm not betting on Thug Rose. I love Zhang, but Zhang's a beast.
Animal.
She's a zombie. You can hit her as many times as you want. She's just gonna keep coming.
I think this is the best fight of the night, and I think I'm really interested to see, because Rose had that whole communist comment a couple weeks ago with Zhang being from China. Really interesting edge on this fight, I think. I think Zhang wins. I do like Rose a lot, but I think Zhang wins. I think Zhang pulls it out in a decision. But their face is going to be fucked up. Like it's just going to be a mess.
I really like Thug Rose. She really is a Thug Rose. I feel like that's a great, symbolic symbol for what it seems like she is. Okay, and then the last fight is Usman Masvidal, which I think Usman is just gonna fucking just take him down. And
I do too. I don't think this is gonna be very entertaining. I think it's gonna be just like the first one where it just takes his ass down and it's like, oh, good luck, have fun on the ground.
Yeah, he was like, give me 6 weeks. I only had 6 days or whatever. It's like, yo, bro, like it's still a wrestler. Like he still knows how to close distance. That's the name of his game. So
I was looking at Usman's record. He hasn't lost. It's like 17 fights or something like that, which is absurd. And he's just a weapon, man. But I will say this. We always say this with guys that are 17, 18 wins in a row or whatever with one loss. And then for some reason, they got hit with one punch and it's game over. It happened to Rousey. It happened to Silva. It could happen to him. Do I see it happening? I would love to see it happen with Masvidal.
Really?
If he does that, he will never shut up.
Yeah, it'd be really entertaining. But I do like what Usman does. I do like what he stands for. I love when Tyron Woodley's mom hugged him after a fight and he apologized to her and he was like, I had to do it. And she was like, it's okay, baby. Like I really like this guy a lot. I like what he stands for. It's hard to root for Masvidal. I like him in any other fucking fight. I'm rooting for Masvidal just because I think it's funny to hear him talk and say stupid shit and be kind of an idiot. But it's really hard for me to root against Usman. The only way I see Masvidal winning is Usman goes, all right, let me try to hurt you and box you, and it's like that's not going to go well for Usman. So I mean, I think a minus 400 favorite is a little high just based on the last fight. So if you're gonna gamble on that, I mean, and you think Masvidal has a chance, you just fucking lay it down, man. Minus 400 is wild. Yeah, it's kind of disrespectful to Masvidal. I do think like I'll take I'm not mad at a minus 250. I'm not mad at that. Of like a minus 400 is like. Yeah, like
they both fight out of Florida, right?
Yeah, they both fight out of Florida. You're asking me to give you for every $4 I win I make $1. It's like that's ridiculous. It's like I don't see any fun in betting on that one. And I
hope Masvidal wins so they go to a trilogy.
Yeah, we'll see. You want to do Tom Brady number tweet?
Yeah, so this is something I texted you. Messaged you earlier. Tom Brady had a real big issue with the NFL changing their numbers for the rules, or the rules for the numbers. So the new rule they adopted, which was yesterday, the quarterbacks, punters, and place kickers are allowed to wear numbers 1 through 19. Defensive backs 1 through 49, and the running backs, tight ends, and receivers are allowed to wear 1 through 49 and 80 through 89. So imagine a running back wearing like 80, which is possible now.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. Or like Reggie Bush, back if they wanted to wear 5, they wouldn't let him. He had to wear 25. Now he can do that if he wanted to come back. But
I think I heard a funny tweet, which was like, if you let this man wear 5, he would have made a 2,000-yard back or something.
Yeah, there is like Vontaze Burfict wore, was it 9, I think, in college? Like and so stuff like that. Offensive linemen can wear 50 to 79, defensive linemen 50 to 79, 90 to 99, and linebackers 1 through 59 and 90 to 99. So a lot of number situation going on. And so of course our Lord and Savior, Tom Brady, he was it how many Super Bowl rings? 7?
7.
Yeah, fucking insane. On his Instagram, he screenshotted the rules, and over it he put text, good luck trying to block the right people now. Going to make for a lot of bad football. And then he had the screen capture of that, and then said, dumb. Why not let the linemen wear what they want to? Why have numbers? Just have colored jerseys. Why not wear the same number? Dumb. And so I thought that was incredibly stupid on his part, which, he's been known to do some stupid stuff, but he always gets the last laugh. They do it in college football. Like I said, Vontaze Burfict wore 9, I think it was, at Arizona State. Reggie Bush wore 5 at USC. Study. If you don't know how to block, maybe you didn't study enough before the game. Like, what's your problem if you're an offensive lineman? Quarterback calls out the mic every time, middle linebacker, and saying, "Hey, block this guy. This is the way the formation's going." If you can't scout guys who have Wikipedia pages, like, you're gonna have an issue. You're gonna have a problem. You probably don't deserve to be a pro. So I don't know where his issue is coming from in terms of that. I mean, yeah, he hasn't played college football since the 90s. So
I will say, like, I think I will I know where he's coming from. I do think any number's fine. Take whatever number you want. I just don't want my running backs to have access to the 80s for whatever reason. I like my running backs in the 20s or in the teens and in the ones 17. A running back 17 would be kind of crazy too.
What about Ty Montgomery a couple of years ago?
I hated it when he was 88. Drove me nuts. He was a wide receiver and they just asked him to play running back. Drove me nuts for whatever reason. The running back one, for whatever, like linebackers, a number one linebacker, take that. A number one defensive line, take that. I think numbers in the 70s are just ugly. Except for whatever reason, like an offensive lineman in the 50s, I think is pretty tight. It's weird. The one thing I will say is where he's coming from is, and he doesn't want to work harder. It's just he doesn't have to pay attention. It's just easy to remember 79. Like, hey, one of the guys is in the 90s, one of the guys is in the 50s, one of the guys is in the 20s, one of the guys is in the 30s. It's just easier to identify for him, and that's gonna blow up his brain to see a Mike linebacker at 12.
He can tell like who's gonna blitz him.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, but yeah, like it all comes down to just him just watching tape over and over and over and over again. And he doesn't really look probably as much for numbers. I don't know. I get where he's coming from the tape aspect, but it's still just like,
I think it's lazy on his part.
It's kind of a crazy, it's kind of dumb to just complain about like, it's a number.
He sounds like an old man. I mean, he is in NFL standards, but like,
yeah.
He just sounds. He's like everyone was posting that Simpsons meme where he was like old men yelling at cloud.
yeah. It was like, wait, why are we complaining about numbers? I don't even get. You know how I started this, and I was like, I get where he's coming from. I don't even because even if you're watching tape and you're not paying attention to number, it's still the guy in the same position. It's just gonna break your brain to say 12. It's just gonna take used to you for saying 12.
I mean, we did that with receivers a couple of years ago, maybe like 10 years ago. I don't know who the first one was, but like receivers started wearing numbers in the teens and
11, 19.
I thought it was pretty fucking cool.
13. It did bother me at the beginning, but like now
if a quarterback comes out and wears like number 27, I'm gonna have some problems because that's gonna be fucking weird. I think that's my only piece.
What's the okay? Let's. Can you do a top 3 of your least favorite numbers?
Ooh.
Because I can give
favorite.
I can just tell you anything in the 70s and the 60s I hate. Actually,
yeah, I was gonna say 60s and 70s terrible.
I hate the 40s. I hate the 50s.
No, the 40s are cool because like that just means it's a running back that's just gonna fuck you up and truck you over.
Fullback. That's also a fullback number. Actually, 40s are tight. 80s and 90s are sick. The 30s is a fullback number. 20s is a running back number. 1 through 20. Oh, what do you think about a quarterback? A quarterback at 20 is weird, but a quarterback at 19, is that acceptable?
I think it's okay. I think it's on the cusp of being weird.
It's on the cusp. It's like, hey, what do you think you're doing?
Yeah. Like,
who do you think you are?
Slow down a little bit.
Slow it down, 19.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So that you want to do Star Wars?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So Star Wars Old Knights of the Republic is getting remade. We don't know by who yet. As long as it's not the people who did Mass Effect. That's what my geek friend told me at work. He was like, hey, as long as it's not the people who made Mass Effect. And I was like, hey, I played Mass Effect 1. And that's all I know. But it's getting remade. I'm very excited about it. I saw somebody tweet about it. I don't know who it was. I forget. I don't know if they had a blue check mark or not. I just remember thinking to myself, I agreed with the take of, for me, personally, it is a top 3 Star Wars adventure, endeavor, content, whatever you want to call it. It is A New Hope. No, it's Empire, A New Hope, and Knights of the Old Republic, known as KOTOR, KOTR. It's for my geeks out there.
What year did that game come out? That was old school, right? That's what I'm looking up right now.
2002?
And
2003?
Yeah, I think Asper is the name of the company developing it now.
What do they do?
And so that's what I'm looking up right now.
They better not fuck this up. I'm gonna be so sad.
I think they did BioWare.
Oh no!
Let me see.
That was exactly what Santos said to avoid.
Oh really?
Yeah. He was like, as long as it's not BioWare, dude, we're good.
Oh shit. That's probably why he said it. They've done their franchises: Call of Duty, Borderlands.
People love Borderlands. People love Call of Duty. These are all good things.
Big time. Observer, Torn, Layers of Fear. I don't know any of those games.
I don't know any of those games.
And then Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy is what they also did.
So these are all good games. I haven't heard one person complain about Jedi Academy. That's the new one, or Jedi.
They did Tomb Raider 2, Madden NFL 2000.
They did NFL 2000?
Madden NFL 2000. This is with their Asper Media list of titles.
Nothing but bangers. This sounds like
Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2.
This is the Rick Rubin of the 1980s.
This is like all bangers. Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon, which I fucking loved.
Don't remember that game. That was the one where
Kelly Slater's Pro Surfer.
Didn't even play that game.
I don't even know this game. Law and Order Dead on the Money.
Is that like where you play Maloney?
I have no clue. It came out in 2003.
That'd be a wild game of just like the way the game starts is the way Law and Order game starts. Yeah, so I was saying to her anyways, like, I'm not going to talk to you anymore. Whoa, what's that sound? And it's like a fucking, the dead body. And then it goes, dun, 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 dun. Oh, now why am I doing the NBA Jam theme song?
Yeah, so I agree. It's going to be pretty cool with the way with the way games are going, how ridiculously like fresh they look. You mentioned this was like the third best thing Star Wars has ever done.
Yes.
That I'm going to agree with hard.
You're going to agree with it?
I disagree.
Oh, what do you think what are the three things of content that you love?
Like, are we talking about singular movies and then TV series?
Anything. There are no rules here except for books and comic books.
Clone Wars, Mandalorian's probably one.
Oh, I forgot about Mando.
Mandalorian's one.
Mandalorian is pretty. Yeah, Mandalorian is up there.
Is 2. 3 is Rogue One.
Yeah, Rogue One is pretty sick.
4 is probably Empire.
Yeah.
5 is Revenge of the Sith.
Okay, the Revenge of the Sith love is outrageous. I am so sick and fucking tired of the Revenge of the Sith. State
your case, bro.
This is okay. Listen, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna rewatch it. I'm gonna rewatch it and I'm gonna review it because I haven't rewatched it since I was like 18 because I hated it so much.
Oh man, you're missing out.
So we'll, because every time I talk to somebody, like years down the line, they'll go, Revenge of the Sith's not that bad. Revenge of the Sith's not that bad. My girlfriend's a huge Star Wars person, and she loves Revenge of the Sith. It's
amazing.
Yeah, she loves.
It's a masterpiece.
The Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, it's a masterpiece.
The Anakin.
The downfall of the Republic.
I have the high ground.
The birth of Darth Vader and the Empire? How is that not amazing? That lightsaber battle at the end alone makes the movie like really, really good.
So I used to talk shit on that lightsaber battle. I used to say things like, that's stupid, that would never happen, like that, people don't fight like that. There's a guy on YouTube, I forget what his name is. He's a ex-sword fighter, and he breaks down the 30-minute fight and he says there's only two. And in the video, he goes, all of this is like functional in a fight. There's only 2 moves that aren't functional in that fight, which is crazy because the fight looks like it's out of control. There's like spin moves and all this shit. But
hopping over lava.
Yeah. He says like he's like, yeah, the lava's functional, everything's fine. But it was funny where he says there's only 2 things, and it's the twirling of the thing and then the force push. But like he's like, what do you want me to do? Like that's part of the
the force push of what?
The when
There's
they
several.
like I don't know.
Oh, where they force push against each other?
Yeah.
In the the computer room.
Yeah. But regardless, he says there's only like 2 things. Everything else is kind of functional in regard to sword fighting, which is kind of nuts when you break it down. Because when I watched that, I was like, this is the fakest thing I've ever seen. And so it adds it adds more context to it, and where I'm like, all right, I'll watch it again. Also, you didn't say Duel of Fates, dude. You didn't say Duel of Fates.
But
you didn't say Duel of Fates, dude. You a real Star Wars nerd, dude?
I mean,
what the fuck, man?
That's just known. That's part of the experience. That's like a all-encompassing.
I will rewatch.
You have to watch Mandalorian. You have to watch. Well,
I have watched Mandalorian. Mandalorian's amazing.
If you haven't watched the animated series, The Clone Wars, it just chef's kiss. It's fucking good.
I hear Clone Wars is fantastic. I've seen Rebels. Rebels was awesome.
I forgot about Rebels. Rebels is up there too.
Rebels is pretty sick. I liked Rebels. Clone Wars, I'll try. I hear only good things from anybody.
Damn, Rebels is probably 5 then.
Rebels is great, man.
Revenge of the Sith is probably 6. And then Christmas special?
There you go. Christmas special 8?
That's probably the worst.
Have you seen the Christmas special?
No. I watched half of it. And
it's crazy. I think at one point, like the Grandpa Chewbacca is watching pornography. I'm not. I don't know if I remember that correctly.
This is a kid's show, so can you not?
yeah. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
I think Rebels is 5 or 4. It's up there, dude. Rebels is so good, too.
Rebels is
just
great.
Because of the Mandalorian. Look, this is like pre-Mandalorian the show. They had a lot of the show at Rebels on Mandalore, so you see a lot of that. And then of course season 7 of Clone Wars kind of goes back to that and continues that storyline. But man, Rebels is really good. And Maul shows up. Sorry, spoiler. Damn it, my bad.
You're good, dude. Don't worry about it.
And I really like Solo also. I was a real big fan of Solo.
I don't even know if this is a hot take. I don't know. I think the dude that played Han Solo was fantastic, and I thought Donald Glover was not good.
Donald Glover wasn't good.
Not good as a stretch. What I mean is like I was like, whatever. Like Han Solo I was more impressed about. And then Emilia Clarke is just stunning. She's just stunning.
Yeah, she's so good.
Yeah.
I didn't have a problem with Glover. I thought he was really good. Alden Ehrenreich. I don't know how to say this. No. The Solo, the kid who played Solo.
Okay.
Alden Ehrenreich. I haven't seen him in anything since. I hope Lucas or Disney didn't just murder him.
No, he's on a CBS All Access show that nobody's watching.
Oh, really?
Yikes. I know. I don't know if I got canceled.
That's what happens when you don't do well with Star Wars.
Yeah. You get no time.
Jar Jar.
You get fucking like Voldemort.
I liked that movie a lot. I thought it was really well done. Only problem was that it was released 2 weeks after Avengers Endgame, I think it was, or Infinity War, the first one, and then Deadpool 2, and then the third week was Solo. So it was like all the casual fans that would have thrown their money at this Star Wars property had already spent all that money watching Marvel and then a Fox, movie. So that kind of chewed out their box office hit there, which kind of sucks. I thought Solo was really good, man. I thought
that was great.
Them showing how Han and Chewie met was awesome.
I liked Woody Harrelson. I liked it all.
Woody Harrelson was great. How he has his gun.
The ending was sick. If you didn't watch Rebels, then you had no idea. But some of us actually who know a thing or two about Star Wars, knew that was happening. Look at me being just I watched like a few episodes of Rebels. I'm like, yeah, I'm a pretty good Star Wars guy.
This is what happens when you date a Star Wars fan. You're in the know now.
No, she did nothing. She had nothing to do with this. Was all pre.
Oh, wow.
I'm not giving her any credit for my Star Wars fandom.
Was this like first date material where you just impressed her with just this knowledge?
No, I had no. She calls me a fake nerd, which is fine.
Oh, ouch.
Which is fine. Whatever.
We'll get you there.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I always tell her that's not a diss. Like, you're telling me I'm cool.
We'll get you there.
All you're like saying is like, all right. And then one last thing. This is a surprise, John. I wanted to hit you with it. Floyd Mayweather versus Logan Paul has been announced June 5th. Any immediate thoughts on the matter?
Oh, is it a boxing match? What's going on?
Yeah, June 5th.
Is Floyd Mayweather allowed to throw punches?
Yeah.
Is Logan Paul allowed to do anything?
The moment I saw this, I thought this is gonna be a surprise.
How official is this?
It's the date has been originally the date was sometime in February. Then I think it got pushed back. I heard
about that one.
And so now it's June 5th. I mean, Floyd Mayweather is going to beat him, but
you won't knock him out.
There are going to be people who are going to say it's my favorite adage of all time. Logan Paul is 6'4", and Floyd Mayweather is 5'8".
Jesus, he's 6'2", by the way. He's my height.
He's 6'2"? Oh, he's 6'2".
Yeah. Damn. I was just gonna say I did say he's not gonna knock him out, but he knocked out McGregor. So, if Paul wins this, is McGregor next?
No. Well, this is Logan.
No. That's what I'm saying.
That means he takes, which would be kind of funny. I would rather see Jake Paul Conor McGregor fight because the nonsense. I mean, Conor McGregor, you know what though? Conor McGregor's past that. That's the other thing I forget though. Conor McGregor is past it. He's not going to I think you're right now. Now that I think about it, Conor McGregor's in his 30s. He's no longer in his 20s where he has this energy to sell a fight where he's
bundles on his alcohol all over the world.
Yeah, now he's like, yo, man, I make money just showing up. I don't have to sell a fight anymore. I don't have to do this whole song and dance. And it got to him, and he was drinking, and you could tell he was his last, the Khabib fight. You could tell he was drunk during the press conference, and it was so.
Has Logan ever fought before?
What's up?
Has Logan ever fought before?
Yeah, like a YouTuber or some shit. I don't know. He's gonna get knocked out.
Is he the one that fought KSI? I thought that was Jake.
Yeah, I thought that was Jake Paul too. I had no idea until now. But yes.
Oh, Logan's the one that fought that KSI.
Logan's the one that fought KSI.
Well, in that case, I'll put all my money. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, there you go. Throw it all 3 units on Logan Paul to get knocked out in the second round.
That weekend, I'm going to vomit. It's going to be such a waste of time.
Lakers win. Floyd Mayweather wins.
Have they said what channel it's going to be on? What platform they're all going to do this on?
I'm assuming it's tough. I'm assuming. I don't know. I mean, if you're Showtime Boxing, there's no way you should put this fight on if you want any respect from the media, press. But once again, no one's going to say shit. Oh, also, real fast, Mortal Kombat this weekend, tomorrow. So super excited about that.
I watched the original last night. Amazing.
Oh yeah, the original's fantastic. I'm super excited for this. But I don't know if you're Triller, if you're Triller, you want it. I don't know if Floyd Mayweather thinks that Triller's beneath him. I don't know if Showtime believes Logan Paul's beneath them. It'll be interesting. It'll probably end up being a whole Floyd Mayweather promotion thing.
Is it a exhibition or professional fight?
Oh, I don't know.
Because Mayweather, I think, is 49-0, right?
Yeah, for sure it's an exhibition then.
There's no way he's risking it.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, who knows? If there's no proper build up to it, if I don't see any good build up to it, I'm not going to be. You
know what I would watch is an MMA fight.
Logan Paul, Floyd Mayweather MMA fight?
Yes.
Logan Paul would beat the shit out of.
No. Oh, I don't know.
Bro, Logan Paul wrestled JUCO.
Even Floyd Mayweather a guy considered the best boxer of all time.
No, I know, but this is what I'll say to you: a guy that can legitimately wrestle JUCO, that can close out space pretty quickly. I don't know. It's tough if he just Floyd.
At what level JUCO? We talking about Cerritos College JUCO, or are we talking
that's the
about
thing. I don't know. There's even levels to JUCO. I always say that when somebody tells me that person did JUCO, I'm like, there's levels to JUCO. Was he a fucking All-American in JUCO?
Yeah, there are some JUCO programs that rival Oklahoma State.
Yeah. Oh, I doubt that. If Floyd Mayweather, here's the thing: if Logan Paul got him down, it would be game over, right? He's a boxer, but I mean, And when that's the thing, though, like you're trying to close out space, Floyd Mayweather's trying to do the same thing. He's just gonna fucking annihilate you with punches.
God damn it, I can't believe you got me fucking critiquing this thing.
I know, it'd be interesting. I know. Look at us. Huh?
I hate you. This going to be a terrible fight. It's going to be a waste of time.
Yeah.
Mayweather's going to knock him out in 4 rounds.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Don't, like, who gives a shit?
I'm not paying for it.
Don't pay for it. Don't, John.
Well, you can screen share it like this right now, and I'll watch it that way, but that's it. We can do it. We can go live. If you want.
Let's do that. Yeah, we'll do one of those. That'll be fun. All right. Thank you for listening. Subscribe. It helps the show. That was a creaky chair. Excuse me. It helps the show. Did you hear the creaky chair? That's on me.
Oh, good.
Such a novice. Fuck. Subscribe. Rate 5 stars. Write a review. Say something nice in that review. That'd be pretty fucking sick of you. You can follow me on Twitter at Bry_Alonzo, and First Team Second String Pod is the YouTube. Just type in First Team Second String. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. That channel, that's where you're gonna see these 2 beautiful mugs talking about all the things you just heard. Hear it again, dude. It's gonna be sick. Then you can see our face. Thank you for listening, and enjoy the rest of your weekend.